It's a blood clot vibes, yes, family. Large up yourself, big up yourself. It's the hostess with the mostest. Select the Sila Shalom on the ones and twos. You know how we do. It's a vibes. It's a blood clot vibes, yes, family. And before we get started, as you know,
Bittersweet Herbals, where the taste is bitter, but the results are sweet. Bittersweetherbals.com.
run the rhythm.
Bittersweet Herbals, where the taste is bitter, but the results are sweet. Bittersweetherbals.com.
Yes, family, make sure to get your bitters indeed. Your boy Sila Shalom. We outside with it. We outside with it. Move to the gang. Chiming in. It's a blood clot vibes. It's a blood clot vibes. Yes, family, wagwan. Sila Shalom in the building, you know what I mean? Just my mic. My mic sounds nice. Check one. I'm gonna move my Desert Eagle, you know. From arm's reach, you know. Peace to the fam. Shit. Peace to the fam. Shamisha, I see you. Gang was good. Bronze Yogi. Where's it, Trini? Tabata, where's it, Trini? Wagwan. Wagwan with you, sister. Just me in the building. Peace, love, and light to the family. You know what I mean? Oh, I see Cosmo and Cal in the building. How can I forget the beloved brother? You know what I mean? Dreadful Cosmo in the building. I see you. Azana, Sa, I see you. However you pronounce it. Forgive me if I mess your name up. Really, this is an open discussion, my nigga. This is an open discussion, family. You know what I mean? Whoever want to hop on, I'm going to open the line. God versus the creator. Now keep in mind, you know what I mean? The religious community wasn't screaming creator since niggas brought the OSP out. Yeah, everybody was saying El, Elohim, El Elyon, the Lord, the Most High God, God, the Lord. But nobody was screaming creator till Gang came on the scene. Everybody started to scream creator. You know what I mean? But they can't scream creator because they God is not a creator. They God is a deity. That's why this is creator versus God, or God versus creator. Who do you stand with? I'm going to throw the link in the chat, although it's still kind of early. Anybody want to hop on and talk? Anybody want to hop on and talk with the God? They go to the link right there. Anybody want to hop on? Yeah, I see Sanetta going in with Naphtali yesterday, exposing they God once again. You know what I'm saying? And of course, they all lost. They don't have a clue of what they talk about. They over there talking about Jesus. Jesus is the one who's speaking in behalf of the Most High. Don't never come down. They say the Most High don't never do nothing. It's Christ speaking in behalf of the Most High. Now, when did that concept come about? I don't recall Moses coming down from Mount Sinai telling us about a Christ. The only nigga who told you about a Christ figure is goddamn Paul. Paul is the one who got y'all believing that you got to have Christ to get to God. Paul gave you that doctrine. You know what I mean? Moses wasn't talking about you got to go through Christ. See that? Moses wasn't talking that. Nor were any of the prophets after Moses prior to the captivities talking like that. Besides me, there is none. Where that verse at? Besides me, there is none. Let's pull that verse up real quick. What verse that is? Besides me, there is no Savior. Let's go there. What's that, Isaiah 43:11? Let's go there. Let's go to the blue letter. The blue liquor. The blue liquor Bible. I'm going to call it the blue liquor Bible because these niggas be drunk off their own high. So as we go to the blue liquor Bible, what's that? Isaiah 43:11. Let's get it. I'm a true, what? A true Fushnik, and I'm a true, what? A true Fushnik. And I was watching Fushnik, and they did a performance in Brooklyn. Y'all know about Fushnik for my hip hop heads. You know what I mean? Let me share my screen real quick. Hold up. My mic sounds nice. Check one. There he is. Now look what Isaiah 43:11 say. Even I, am the Lord, and besides me there are no saviors. There are no saviors besides the Lord. So how can we say Jesus Christ is sitting beside the Lord when the Lord himself said, there are no saviors besides me? See that? That's cut and dry. That's cut and dry. But you know, most Bible believers are going to twist that around and make stuff up. He says, besides me, there are no saviors. Let's prove that. Let's prove that besides him, there's no saviors, according to the Bible, right? Besides me, there are no saviors. Now, when we go to Genesis chapter 1, right? Hold on. Look, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Isaiah said, even I am the Lord, and beside me there are no saviors. Now, the very first verse in the Bible, Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, do we see a savior beside God in this verse? In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Did it say in the beginning, God and the Savior created the heavens and the earth? Did it state in the beginning, the host of heaven with God created the heavens and the earth? It was plain. According to Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, God created the heavens and the earth. Now, who is God? Let's hit the concordance. Let's have some fun. Who is God? 430. What does that say? What does it say? Who is God? It says rulers, judges, divine ones, angels, gods, right? It's plural. Let's go to the root word. L. Because that's what God means, L. Now, this is L. What does that say? God, the one true God, Jehovah. So the God in Genesis 1, chapter 1 is Jehovah according to the Bible. And right here at the primary root word, you will notice it doesn't have nothing associated with Jesus, Christ. Now keep in mind, this is Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. Barashit bara Elohim waha aretz. That's the very first verse. And there is no association with Christ. There is no association with Yeshua, Messiah. There is no association. What did Isaiah state? I, even I am the Lord. And beside me, there is no Savior. Now let's hit the Strong's Concordance on Isaiah 43. Right? Strong's Concordance on Isaiah 43. Let's hit the word Lord. What does Lord mean? Look what that say. Look what that say. Jehovah. Jehovah is Lord. So Jehovah is saying, I am Jehovah, and beside me, there is no Savior. Let's hit the Strong's Concordance for Savior. What is Savior? Yasha. Primary root word at that. And what does it mean? Savior, it means what? Of course, to save. Look, salvation. To be delivered. Let's go to some biblical usages. To save. Be saved. Be delivered. Now, Jehovah is saying, besides me, there are no deliverers. There are no salvation besides Jehovah. Right? But you've been taught that you got to go through Jesus Christ in order to get salvation. The doctrine has changed. From the time of Moses to the time of Yeshua, after the Yeshua, a new doctrine is being preached, which is putting a middleman in between you and your creator or your God. You don't say God in this instance because the biblical usage is we're using is referring God as Jehovah. So the verse is saying, I, even I, am the Lord Jehovah, and beside me, there are no saviors. They even have a word for beside. Biladya, or Aya. What does it say? Besides means what? Without, not in me, not apart, except, without, besides. Come back to Genesis, chapter 1, verse 1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. There was no one beside God when he's doing his creation, right? According to the narrative, right? And this is the English rendition. This is the English rendition. If we go with the Hebrew rendition of Elohim, as you state, Elohim, that's plural. So now we're dealing with a multiplicity of deities instead of one. But even using the Hebrew, using the multiplicity of deities, now one of these deities are classified as a savior. Nor is these deities even mentioned. Other than God saying down here in verse 26, God said, let us make man. Now, some will assume and say he's talking to Jesus. But nowhere in Genesis does it says Jesus. Let us make man. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he, him, male and female created he, them. Now they said that Jesus was the one doing the creating. Tazariah could tell you that Jesus was the one who created the heavens and the earth in 6 days. But as we see here, God is the one doing the creating. And in the Hebrew, the Elohims are the ones doing the creating. But none of the Elohims are associating themselves as being a savior. Back to Isaiah. Look at the next verse. I have declared and have saved. Look. And have saved. And I have shewed when there was no stranger, God among no strange. When there was no strange God among you, therefore ye are my witnesses, saith the Lord, that I am God. Look at that. You remember when I asked Tazariak, is God the Most High? You remember when I said that? And he said no. Look what it says. The Lord, that I am God. Matter of fact, let me get them snippets. Let me have some fun. Peace to the queens. I see you. Let me have some fun. Yeah, you remember when these niggas, see, we got these niggas on record forever. As long as YouTube is up, we got them on record. If they have a change of heart, we had them on record before they had to change of heart. Look. It says, in the beginning, God. So that God is not the Most High, is what you're saying?
No.
He said, no. Again, to begin, when it says, in the beginning, God. So that God is not the Most High, is what you're saying?
No.
So I asked him, in the beginning, God, is that the Most High? He said no. But then when we go back to Isaiah, when we go back to Isaiah 43:12, what does it say? What does it say? Therefore, ye are my witnesses, saith the Lord, that I am God. What did Tazariak say, though? He just said out of his own mouth that the God in Genesis is not the Most High, it's not the Lord. To begin, when it says, in the beginning, God. So that God is not the Most High, is what you're saying?
No.
He said that's not the Most High. Let me get another clip. Look.
Talks about Genesis, the first chapter. The Most High is not the one doing the work.
You heard what he said. Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. He said, God is not the one doing the work. That's what he said. I don't even think he even realized what he'd be saying. I think they just be saying stuff as they go. Because it's too easy to contradict these dudes contradict themselves. So look, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. He said that this God did not create the heavens and the earth when it states in the beginning, God created. Right there. God created. Now listen clearly. In the beginning, God. So that God is not the Most High, is what you're saying?
No.
That's not the Most High God. But he created. This ain't in the beginning, God created, but he ain't the Most High. And then look what he's saying. Oh, I didn't even see Cosmology in the back. Oh, my brother, hold up. I didn't even see you back there, King.
Yeah, peace to the righteous gods, man.
Hey,
shout out, man, to the creative gang. What's the word?
Hey, man, exposing these boys, showing that, just doing a playback on Tazariak, saying how he saying that God is not the creator of his book. And then in Isaiah 43, Isaiah, let me play it short real quick. Right here in Isaiah 43:12, it says, therefore ye are my witness, saith the Lord, that I am God. So these dudes claim to be top debaters and supposed to be up in the ranks, but they get cut so easily with their own book. Here it clearly states that the Lord, that I am God.
And in Genesis 1:1, how can that God not be creating when in 1:1 it says God created?
Right. He said that he said that it was excuse me, it was Jesus and the angels. It was Jesus and the angels creating. But in the beginning, it doesn't say that. So where they getting this stuff from?
Even if you use the term Elohim in Hebrew, it doesn't say Jesus.
Exactly. Look, we right there. Elohim in Hebrew, like he said, it doesn't say Jesus.
And Elohim as a plurality could just mean feminine and male aspects when they're talking about plurality, not that it's separate deities.
See that?
But the whole fact is that debunks everything that they talking about is that it is a deity. Somebody seen their God.
Right.
He isn't omnipresent. You dig what I'm talking about?
You remember they admit that their God sits on the throne. So before the nigga created the heavens and the earth, he was floating around on the throne, my nigga.
Already
that don't even make no
in
sense.
a box. He in a box.
Hey, look, he ain't even in the New Jerusalem. He ain't even in the New Jerusalem. He just floating around on the throne by himself.
Well, damn.
Where the New Jerusalem come? Where's the New Jerusalem that's coming down from God out of heaven in Revelations? Where's that in Genesis?
Where does it say that there's other angels before God, before he created anything?
Where is Jesus in the Strong's Concordant definition of the Hebrew word of God? Because from Genesis, the whole chapter Genesis 1 is dealing with God said. God is speaking. Not once did God say, God said, let my son Jesus Christ create the heavens and the earth. It don't say that.
Right.
So my thing is,
it's a silly argument when you actually think about it. And then more to the point, who cares what God said? Prove what you said. Show me that you created the earth. Show me how you did it. At least tell me how you did it. You made one book, make another one. You made one hole. Make another hole.
Right. The crazy thing is, he made a poor attempt to try to explain his creation when you look at it, because the very next verse, Genesis chapter 1, verse 2, tries to give the explanation. It says, and the earth was without form. Now, how are you going to have an earth without form without explaining how the earth came about in the first place?
Right.
You know what I mean? How did the earth come about?
How can an earth not have form? It is form itself. All forms come from it.
Right.
There is no form without the earth.
Exactly.
And how do you have an earth? Okay. And then how is it void?
Right. Let's look at the void. Let's look
how
at the
is
word
it
void.
It can't be void. There has to be rock there.
And look what it says for void. Look what the Hebrew word for void is. Buhu, or vuhu, in the states, emptiness, void, waste. And that's at best what it got. It's emptiness, void, waste.
How can it be and void and he's floating over water?
Right, where the water come from?
Where the water come from?
Verse 2 alone is so many questions. Because let me read the verse out, and then look how many questions that come with it. First, the earth was without form. Now, of course, we could explain this, breaking down the 4 A's in the Owaspy, we could make this make sense. But without leaving it up to them to make this make sense and questioning them on it, you're gonna see how far gone they are. They don't have the answers. The earth was without form and void. Now, for us, we will consider, okay, that's the uninhabitable age. And darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the spirit, now keep in mind, God is a spirit. God is a spirit. So this verse is saying, basically, and God of God. Because they say God is a spirit. So that means a spirit is God. But nonetheless, the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. So now we got a formless earth, void in darkness, with waters. Now, when I was in this frame of thought, we concluded that there was a destruction that took place from the earth, and God is recreating a new earth after a previous destruction. That's the understanding that most biblical believers have interpreting this verse.
Right, but ain't that Christian apologetics? Because it doesn't say that.
Exactly. Case in point.
Right. I mean, if you want to lean onto your own private interpretation, well, then ain't no need for us to have any conversation, because you're just using belief, and whatever I say, you'll magically make up something different. So at that point, it wouldn't even be no reason to talk to you anymore. You too far gone. You know, if you can just make it up. Oh, there was an earth before. See, in the beginning, right? It says the earth was without form. That's because it had just reset, Cosmon.
Exactly. Now I'm gonna add a precept to that from the Owaspi to complement that, to make their story, which makes no sense, make sense.
Right.
Now let me go to the what's that? The list of plates. Let me go to Shema'el. Let me go to Shema'el real quick. That's an ill last name too, Shema'el.
Mm-hmm.
We have to use that and shit. Sila Shalom Shema'el. Yo, hold on. Where the list of plates at? Hold up. Oh, all right. List images and lists. All right, here we go. Here we go. Let me get the Shema'el. Hold tight. Hold tight. Everybody hold tight. Damn. All right, here we go. There you go. All right, there you go. Now this Shema'el right here, right? Now in Genesis, right here, it talks about the earth being formless, void, darkness. It's a waste and it's a desolate. The Spirit of God is hovering above the desolation of the earth. Now let's make that make sense with Jehovah's times. Now look, let me read this real quick. And then Cosmo, you can interpret. Shema'el, the prophets of Jehovah said, a time shall come when the earth shall travel in the roadway of the firmament, and so great a light will be present that what? The vortex of the earth shall burst like a whirlwind burst. And lo and behold, the whole earth shall be scattered and gone. The whole earth shall be scattered and gone as if nothing had been. Now, when we come back to Genesis, it says the earth was without form and void, and darkness was above the face of the deep. What did Jah just say? The whole earth shall be scattered and gone as if nothing had been. So that complements that right there. But look what Jah just said. Jehovah said, but before that time comes, my Etherian host shall have redeemed man from sin, nor shall the inhabitants of the earth marry, for the time of beginning will be at an end, even as certain species of animals have failed to propagate and have become extinct. So shall it be with man. The earth will have fulfilled its labor. We stop right there. The earth will have fulfilled its labor. When we go back to Genesis, the earth was a formless void, was without form, void and darkness was upon the face of the deep. The earth will have fulfilled its labor, and its service will be no more under the sun. But the vortex of the sun shall be round, and the body of the great serpent, which is the solar system, coiled up. In the place, now look, in the place where the earth was, now the earth is a formless void. Now the place where the earth was, what did it say? Some of my far off world shall come and fulfill the labor alluded to them. And the what? Atmospherians. Which would be the angels, which would be the gods, which would be the Spirit of God. So now you have the Spirit of God hovering above that which was once desolate and destroyed. While in the Owaspi is saying that the Atmospherians who have not been redeemed from darkness in that day shall alighten on what? The new world, and also fulfill their labor. Now, the new world. What is this Genesis creation about? Talking about bringing in a new world. It's talking about creating the heavens and the earth, a new world in 6 days from a previous destruction. So according to the Owaspi, this is basically coming from one age of the earth to another age of the earth. From the age of barrenness to dissipation, swinging on back to the age of creation, and then when it's the second age, when it's inhabitable for man to sustain itself. So we could use Owaspi to make this make sense, because we have the cosmological system in order of the 4 ages, which is in comparison to the 4 seasons, to make that which don't make sense make sense. But if you was to just leave this up to the biblical reader and ask them what's going on here, you're going to get several different answers from several different, belief systems.
The next verse is a problem, though.
Right. What that say?
Let there be light.
Let there be light. And there was light. No, that's too easy. How was this light created? How was light created?
Objectively, there is no light produced anywhere in all creation that doesn't have a source.
Exactly. Now let's show them the source.
Not one.
Let's show them the source, Cosmo. Let's show them the source real quick. They go to source objectively. Cosmo said objectively. Now they go to sources right there. Numerous sources show you that in the center of these vortices, you see a glowing light. You see light. You see light in the center right there, right? And all these vortices in the center, you see light. That's objective. A child could understand that, right? Now let's back with Owaspy, quick, fast. Let's go to Owaspy, Book of Jehovah. Let's cook. Let's cook for a second. Let's go to Book of Jehovah, chapter 3. Right here. Chapter 3, verse 7. What that say? What that say?
To make the sun, says, to make the sun, I created a great vortex. And within this vortex,
no, stop with my bad, Cosmo. Let's get that first part right here, just that part.
To make the sun, I created a great vortex.
Now, when you look at these pictures, what do you see? A great vortex. And what do you see in the center of that vortex? The sun. So the vortex is the primary cause of light. You cannot have Genesis chapter 1, verse 3 saying God said, let there be light, and there was light without explaining the vortex first. Go ahead, Cosmo.
That's right. Anybody talking about anything about cosmology, cosmogony, or creation at all, and they haven't brought up the vortex first, they don't know what they're talking about.
They don't know what they're talking about. You can't even talk about a Big Bang without talking about a vortex.
Well,
this is your Big Bang. Go ahead. You just did a video debunking the Big Bang, Cosmo, didn't you?
Yeah, I just debunked Big Bang, but James Webb.
Speak on.
Remember, these are their scholars. You know what I mean? This is their science. You dig what I'm talking about? I'm not making this up. They're debunking themselves. There is no Big Bang. There is Big Spin. The larger the vortex, the greater the corporeal body at its center is, and hence its mass. And to prove that even the sun grows in stages, the stage where you still see the mighty vortex, but the sun is not lit, is called a black hole.
See that?
That is the time before the atmosphere of the sun cuts on and becomes lit and is at that point called photosphere. Right? From what science says is thermonuclear reactions in its atmosphere. But just like that, the Earth has a body in the center of its atmosphere, so does the sun have a body at the center of its atmosphere, and that's what they look like. You see the black one? See the black holes? The black holes are what they look like before, if you go down and look at a vortex with the light in the center.
Right. Let me
look, see one with the light in the center.
Let me put a cross comparison with it.
Yeah.
Right there. So you got the same force and power of with the black hole. You still got that vortex. Hold up. Let me bring it over. There you go.
Yeah.
When you look at both, it's still a vortice. Whether you're dealing with a black hole or a light hole,
it's not a black hole. It's a black body.
Right.
It's a black body.
And then they even compare it. Coal fire in the grill, you know, that's the source of that is carbon. That's what we're looking at right there. That's what we're looking at right there. When we see that black hole, that carbon ain't got busted open yet. That carbon rock. That carbon rock.
Not enough pressure. Not enough pressure yet. Not enough heat yet.
Exactly.
And so I just want y'all to understand that just like black holes eat everything, all energy, all gravity, all light, all mass, right? Just like the black hole does before it's lit, it does the same thing when it's lit. And this is why space is cold, because the sun literally eats the thermal energy. Literally, it eats it. It sucks it into its mass. But we've also seen just recently, messing with James Webb, a black hole swallow a planet and spit it out on the other side also. So shout out James Webb Telescope.
That's supposed to be it right there.
Yeah, functioning at 470 degrees below zero, going towards the sun. Let that sink in.
We ain't no telling what they seen on that drone.
Man, listen, bro, look at that. Mind you, these places, see the one to the right, the darker one, that one, Hubble. Yep. So go to. Now look what James Webb. Look what Webb showed. Everywhere where they thought it was dark at, is something there.
Exactly. There is no ending. There is no ending. So that means the void of space is literally a circle. Because everything is
You got to think about it. Most of them galaxies bigger than ours.
Right. Osiris tell you that. Osiris tell you that they got spaceships 10 times bigger than the Earth alone. So that shows you how small we are in the vacuum of space. We smaller than an ant. If you got UFOs that's bigger, 10 times bigger than the Earth, come on. How many people on the planet?
They do call it a little red star.
Right. I was just reading the verse the other day when the Ethereans was like, yo, that's a world down there? Like, that little thing is a world? I was like, I'm insulted. I'm like, what you mean? Like, hold up, what for you to say that? For you to say that our world down here, what y'all looking at? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Man.
We ain't gotta, we don't know the half of what Jaja got for us, yo.
And this just, listen, Osiris just the first fruits. This is not even, this is baby food. This is not even the fruit. This is just the juice. You dig what I'm talking about? This is just the juice. And they can't even take the juice.
Nigga, this is just the dream state right here.
Right. Man, it ain't got good yet.
We ain't even woke up yet.
Man.
But look, it says, God said, let there be light, and there was light. The way that light is manifested in the Osiris is to make a sun. I created a great vortex. So that's how the light is created, by the great vortex. And then it's another verse where it states that the earth was once a globe of fire.
Facts.
See if I can find that. That the earth was once a globe of fire. Showing you that it's one consistent order. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one consistent order.
I think it's 7. Book of Jehovah 4 and 7.
All right. Oh no,
I think.
Hold on. 4 and 7. Let me go. I was just at 4 2. I was just at 4 7. Man, this shit's so sweet, bro. Look at the solar system. Look at the shape of the C Vorkum or the vortex. Look at it. What does this look like? You know what this look like? It looks like a comet. Let me pull up a comet.
Yep. It looked like our Earth. Our Earth got a tail too.
Yeah, but look at this though. Because they try to tell you that. Look at that. Look at the comet and look how Owaspi is describing the motion of the solar, the
solar system.
Yeah, the description of the solar system. You got the sun here. This is the vortex of the sun. The sun is pulling forward. And you have the smaller vortices within, just like a comet. Now look at the comet. Look at our solar system. So what does that tell you? That comet is not stationary. That comet is in motion.
It not only is it in motion, it's rotating, it's spiraling.
It's spiraling and it's moving. And the drag is the proof of the motion. And what you see our galaxy looking like. The same shit right here.
Uh-huh.
This is just a pancake of what this is. It's just compressed.
And you got to remember, we live in a 3D world,
right?
3 dimensions, exactly. Not 2. This is just a picture, right?
They go to reality right there. The
reality. They go to real.
Exactly. If they want to say CGI, well, nigga, we're not playing with CGI. A hurricane ain't CGI. All right. Look at that. That ain't CGI. They go the same vortex right there that you see in the Owaspi right here. Same force and power. Look at that. Now, is that hurricane or that tornado? Is that stationary or is it motion? Or is it moving across the plane? How is nature showing us that everything is in motion? How is cosmology, the sun, moon, and stars is in motion, but the earth is still? That don't even make no sense. Creation is letting you know that everything is in motion. Everything is curvature. Even Terrence Howard brought that out. Even he brought that out in his lecture.
Yeah. All things are in motion.
Exactly. Look at that. So what judge I say again?
Say none can stand still.
Man can't stand still. He gotta move.
Gotta move.
Ain't no standing still in the kingdom, boy. Man. They can't touch this Owaspi, bro. They that's when we was going to the light. We got it. We truly have a different light, bro. We truly have a different light. Big facts.
You know what I mean? And the cold part about it is it fit everywhere.
Right.
You dig what I'm talking about? If they willing to listen, I can tie it into whatever you talking about.
Yeah.
I can make whatever you talking about line up with Owaspi, but then I could turn around and tear you apart with it.
Same thing, exactly.
But that ain't the point. The point is to find the oneness in all things.
Right. We show you objectively that there's a book sourcing creator's creation without the dogma of a deity, a god, a nigga floating in a wheelchair in space. Floating in the wheelchair talking about he creating the heavens and the earth in 6 days in 3761 BC.
Remember, he got a horse up there somewhere too. So
yeah, nigga floating in the wheelchair. The wheelchair is the chariot. And you know the horse, the UFO, you know what I mean? That shit probably got 500 horsepower, the chariot, you know what I mean?
Right.
That's what I mean. Our creator says this: the whirlwind are made as a sign to men of the way of my created worlds. Now they go to whirlwind right there. They go to whirlwind. They go to whirlwind. So he's giving you something objectively. Hold up, I think I heard somebody tap in. I got BC in the back chat. Okay, peace to the righteous God. What's good, King?
Peace to the righteous gods.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Knowledge, man. So so check it. What y'all say? What y'all say? The whirlwind I made as a sign to man of the way of my created worlds. They go to whirlwind in real time. Ain't no arguing that. Can't no man argue that. They go to galaxies, the exact same force and power. Niggas are arguing the CGI, but bitch, we'll bring it right back to this real-time vortice, whirlwind. And then we got even the example of a comet showing the same force and power. So Jaja in the Owaspi is showing you, like, I'm going to prove who I am objectively.
Right.
I'm going to show you things you've been looking at all your life, but never knew how it worked and functioned until now.
Right.
What Jaja say? What Jaja say? Look what he said. And as you see the power of the whirlwind. Now look, we see objectively the power of the whirlwind.
Right.
Gathering up the dust of the earth, driving it together. Know that likewise, I bring together the Jaya, the Aja, and the nebula. Those are just different densities of atmosphere in the firmament of heaven. By the power.
Hey,
go ahead.
Go back and show him the James Webb telescope where it looked like it had the fingers.
Yeah, right there. Yup, there you go, right there.
Where it looked like it had the fingers.
Right there.
That's Aja, Jaya, and Nebula all in one picture.
Right. That's atmospheric densities right there. Clouds.
Right.
Just like the atmosphere produce densities that'll give you the clouds. It'll give you
a semi-light cloud, a semi-dark cloud, or falling nebulous material.
Exactly. The more density in the atmosphere, we'll have rain, we'll have snow, we'll have hail. The reason we have those things is because of density in the atmosphere. Those are small examples of Aja, Jaya, and Nebula right here dealing with hail, snow, and rain. What did I say again? He says, likewise, I bring together the Jaya, the Aja, and the Nebula in the firmament of heaven, right here, which Cosmo was referring, in the firmament of heaven. So these are the abstract particles of creation before giving shape and form. What did I just say? By the power of what? The whirlwind, I created the sun, moon, and stars. So when you have atmospheric dust or cosmic dust in this form, when Jaja give it a rotation, it turns into this form. It turns into this.
Yep.
This turns into this when given motion by Creator. And that motion gathers up these atmospheric dust, driving it to the center of the vortice, producing light. A globe of fire, a central sun, as seen all right here. The same force and power from this hurricane, objectively. So Jaja give us something on the earth plane to prove something on a plane that we don't even exist on yet, which is the galaxy and the high etheric planes. But he said, nigga, on the earth plane, here go some small examples. Even when you got them taking shit and flush the toilet, nigga, I'm showing you the vortex, nigga. I'm going to make sure
the vortex is everywhere.
It's everywhere present, just like Creator. Because it is of Creator.
Mm-hmm.
And then look what Jaja said. And I commanded man to name the whirlwinds in the Etherian firmament, and he named them according to their shapes, calling them vortices and walks. Vortices and walks. These are your vortices.
Still the same name today.
Same name today. But your Bible can't prove this. Your Bible can't give us an explanation of why there's a ring or a circle around these suns. Why is there a circle?
Or why there's a ring and a circle around Saturn.
Right. Well, where that's at.
That's because the Creator said that the creation is my book.
Exactly.
You get that in the Bible.
Yeah, we read Creator's book. We read in Creator's book subjectively and objectively. Subjectively through the Owaspi and objectively through creation itself.
He said, nothing is so easily as read as my created world.
Exactly. You know what I mean? We building letters to build sentences and words and sentences. What are we dealing with? It says, around some of my corporeal worlds I have given nebula belts and rings so that man can comprehend the rotation of my vortexian worlds. Again, what planet? We said Saturn, Cosmon?
Saturn.
Let's pull up Saturn. Does not Saturn has a belt around it?
Uh-oh.
Doesn't Saturn has a belt around it?
Uh-oh.
Now, some will say, oh, that's CGI, but they do have pictures of the real Saturn. Let me see if I can say the real Saturn pictures.
Well, I don't care if they say it's CGI. They're stupid if they saying that. CGI just means computer generated image. Even if you were standing right there and took a picture, a computer is generating the image.
Right.
Yes, dumbass, it's computer generated. Yes. That don't mean it ain't real.
Case in point. So there you got ring around Saturn, and then it says around some of my corporeal worlds I have given nebula belts and rings so that man could comprehend the rotation of my vortexian worlds. See that? Look what it say here. For each and every corporeal world, I created a vortex first. And here go the proof again. Look at all these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and coming on down the line. You see,
and then show them Saturn.
And then you see
for
Saturn.
For every corporeal body.
Mm-hmm.
For everybody, not just the sun, but the planets and the moons also. In that nebulous region around the planet carries its atmosphere.
So for each and every
same thing with your planet.
Right. I created a vortex first. So the parent, because the celestial body is the child. That is which is produced by the parent. The parent being the vortex.
Yeah, but even your sperm spins vortexially up the tube. It doesn't swim left and right. It spirals on its axis and drills into the egg.
Exactly.
And then creators say, I send a spark at the time of conception, right? They just figured this out in the 2000s that at the moment of conception, when the sperm enters the egg, a explosion of zinc happens inside the egg, and it literally lights up.
Yep, big facts.
Jaja say that light is your soul. Right?
Yeah, you know, because
now.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead, Cesar.
Oh, my bad, King. I'm gonna just say this real quick. That spark of life is electricity. The spirit is electrical. Now we're dealing on the 3-density plane. So anything in the 3-density plane that exists organically is dealing with electricity. Go ahead, BC.
Well, I was just saying, man, there's a picture in the WASP that shows it's kind of got like a cone shape to it. And it shows the Ethereum, the vortex. And I was looking at the picture trying to understand it, you know.
Come on, this right here?
Yeah. I think it's got a couple different illustrations in it. That's one of them. But I was trying to understand that. But when you pull up the picture of the galaxy, right, the vortex spinning, I'm like, okay, I'm trying to put these two together. So you got, you know what I mean? You got this cone shape, and basically what I'm saying is like everything is in motion. So at the center you got the sun, and then when you show the tornado touching down, you know that point that's hitting the ground. I would say if we was in Etheria, or you know, that would be the position of the sun. You know, the most potent.
Correct.
Point of, you know what I'm saying?
The storm would be the sun. Where the sun would be the eye of the storm. Correct.
And it's driving everything in a certain direction, but then I'm looking at, now I'm just speculating here, gentlemen. But when you show Saturn, and I'm looking at the rings around Saturn, right? And I'm still keeping in mind that everything is in motion. So. But what I'm thinking, and I could be wrong, I'm just speculating, but what I'm thinking is the difference between Saturn having them rings like that and the sun, for example, is that like maybe is that Saturn is spinning, right? It's got motion, but it's not it's not driving like the sun is. You know what I mean? And I could be wrong, which is causing the ring motion, because it's a constant vortex. You know what I mean? But and I'm just thinking, like, there's so many vortexes that are causing, like, it's like a cause and effect. So if it's one spinning somewhere, it's causing an emotion somewhere else, and it could be that maybe Saturn is locked in position, so to speak. You know what I mean? But it's still spinning. I don't know, man. I'll be on one.
No, you good. We just built. Ain't no right or wrong here.
We just building, bro.
Yeah.
Now, I actually understand what you're saying. Now, it would make sense, right? Remember, we got to talk microcosm and macrocosm.
That's right.
Right? We're talking looking at the small to explain the big, and looking at the big to explain the small. Now, when we're talking about these layers and these spinning, atmospheric densities going up or east and west or laterally for the most part, right? We got to understand that all of it is spinning, right?
Right.
And that there are orbits that move in that are subject to the greater vortex, right? Like they're like spirals in the greater vortex, right? Though just like it would be just like the rings are around Saturn, right? If you imagine Saturn as the sun, the rings would carry the planets, right?
Yeah.
Microcosm to explain the macrocosm. So if we know Saturn is on its orbit, it has an orbit, it goes around the sun, right? And it's spinning on its axis, right? Because it's spinning on its axis, it has substance subjected to it.
Right.
Right. And just like the nebulous material is subject to the vortex of the greater body of Saturn, Mars, Venus, Earth, Jupiter, Saturn, and all the planets are in the same subjectivity to a greater vortex within the sun. So this is why everything is in motion, even the planets, even the Earth, everything moves, is moving counterclockwise in our galaxy. To everything is moving westward, counterclockwise.
You're right about that. And remember, and I said, okay, go ahead.
Look, this is a good point right here. Remember how if you turn this up in 3D, it's like a cone. Right? See this picture to the right? With the planets, with the in the circle? Yeah, that one right there. Leave it right there. You see how it has vortices subject to the planet in the middle, to the sun in the middle? We are just looking down. We're looking down on top of the vortex.
You see the vortex? You see the vortex? I put the thumbnail on it so you can see the picture on it. It's showing. You see it? The side view of what you're talking about, Cosmo, in front of your OSP at the top.
Go ahead. And do we agree? And do we agree that the greater momentum is coming from the outer rim, right?
Yeah.
The vortex.
Yes, from the extremities. Yep.
Which would basically say that the momentum is possibly coming from a whole nother vortex system that's not being shown here, right?
Right now,
No.
because each vortice, like if you have a vortice within a vortice, like for example, the Earth, the moon's vortex is riding on the coattail of the Earth vortex. So the extremity of our solar system will be coattailing on the outskirts of the Milky Way's vortex or the galactic center's vortex. That'll be the force of power of even our solar system.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Because even our sun is subject to its sun.
Exactly. Case in point.
Yes, exactly.
You right?
Okay,
Yep.
so
you have vortices within the vortices within the vortices within the vortices.
This is called a manito, a thing within a thing, or an inqua.
okay, do we
rabbit hole goes because there is no ending to the vortices within the vortices within the vortices.
Remember, he said the all spake and motion was, is, and ever shall be.
Right.
Meaning to say that there is no beginning and that there is no ending to what we see or what we know as creation. It's constant progression. It's consistently creating, dissipating. It's inhabited, uninhabited. If you travel throughout the cosmos, that's what you're going to find.
Right, and I'm totally in agreement with that. And but my mind starts bending when I really start trying to break it all down, because I truly believe that this is stuff we gonna understand. You know what I mean? At some point. So I'm just reaching out there trying to see, because they like for example, with all everything we talked about, do y'all agree with the unified field, right? That they speak of in science?
No.
Now I agree to some certain points about it, but not the way that they break it down. Yeah.
No. And I'm about to see the major flaw in the uniform field theory is that, and first of all, let's get into the law of motion. They say a body in rest tends to stay in rest until it's acted upon by outside force, and a body in motion stays in motion till acted upon by outside forces. Right?
Mm-hmm.
This is the law of motion. And why I don't agree with the uniform field theory, Cosmo, I'm about to debunk this shit and make the uniform field theory work. Right? Is the fact that they can't explain the initial motion. You can't explain what created something, right, and then made it spin. Right? You can't explain that initial motion. They're just trying to explain with the uniform field theory what they misnomer as gravity, what they misnomer as electricity, what they misnomer as magnetism, what they misnomer as gravity. And the crazy part is, in the uniform field theory, the math equations that make up energy, that make up magnetism, that make up electricity, they almost identical.
Right.
You can't hardly tell one from the other. Right? Because what Awashpi is saying is correct. It's only one force. And look, science only agree with what we're saying, because science tells you today that electricity and magnetism is the same force. How, nigga? You ain't explained that.
Right.
Right.
And then this is like you said earlier in the conversation, how macro explains the micro, right? Or the micro, you can look at the micro and understand the macro. And I'm gonna make a small caveat real quick. When we get into this discussion about our ancient ancestors and evolution and how we evolved into humans, you're right. So you know how they say when you go back far enough, like everybody's pretty much related, for example.
Right.
I mean, you know, there's some differences, of course. You know, we live on a big place, a big planet, so you know, of course, there's going to be differences, but you know, there's that idea
I don't
that
even think you
we
gotta
all.
go back that far. I don't
Well,
think you
I'm
gotta
just
go back that
pointing
far
out the
to show
fact.
everybody the same.
Right. And I just wanted to point that out because I mean, that's just a small thing that we can look at how things relate. And then when you go back to saying how when they try to explain gravity and electromagnetic field, and there's so many relations between these different things because these are the parts of the unified field that I agree with. I just don't agree with the way that they break it down. But
Exactly.
I
We're not gonna
take
argue
what
the
they
force. We're
right.
not gonna argue
But
the force because I gotta describe it to you. You dig what I'm talking about? So we can't we can't say say like there ain't no. I'm saying that there ain't no electricity, but I'm still have to explain what we call electricity is, right? To be able to bring it back home, and then to show you that magnetism is the same force, just acting differently.
Exactly. I mean, everything has to come from something.
That's right. That's right. Talk to a BC.
And when I think about gravity, for example, now you could think about it a couple different ways, but the way I see gravity is like you can't really have gravity without motion.
It's impossible.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, gravity without, or not gravity, but energy, for example, without motion is, I forget the word. I want to say it. Inertia. I mean, that might be the wrong word, but the energy is always going to be there. You know what I mean? And I believe like one of the things I was
kinetic.
Kinetic or
okay. I'm with you.
Or how they break down the word energy to inner chi. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's energy and everything. So you know, I lost the point I was going to make.
You can't have none of that energy if it ain't moving.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That's the difference. You dig what I'm talking about? If it ain't moving, it's magnetism. If it is moving, it's electricity. And guess what? Around magnetism is the possibility for electricity. Around electricity is a magnetic field.
Right. It's like it's a spectrum.
Yeah, it's what the vortex is acting on. Its density, the rate of speed, what it's made of, and where it is what it produces. Right? So you can have, if it's in Aja, it's going to produce one result. If it's in Nebula, it's going to produce another result. Right? Just depends on where it is. You know what I mean?
I got another crazy idea though.
Shout out Archie. One second, bro. Shout out Archie Wabasi. Yep, Manito is the great spirit. You're right. Manito means 3 in 1.
You put that up in the Owaski.
Earth, sky, and spirit. Earth, sky, and spirit. Manito.
That's with Apollo in the lower books. The Lord's third book.
Man, shout out the great Manito. Yeah, that's my guy. Huh? that's Papa right there. You dig what I'm talking about? That's what I'm standing with in the end of the day. The great spirit.
I know I'm mentioning in the
but BC, the ability to even comprehend on levels like this is rising you up spiritually.
Right. I'm gonna hit you with one more. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I'm reaching out there but I want to cook up with y'all because y'all, I feel like y'all great minds, and you know what I mean. And I'm just trying to build, but I'm gonna hit you with one more idea, then I'm gonna chill out. Because like the black holes, for example, that they talk about, and they always have a mysterious connotation to them. Whenever I look up the information, they don't really fully explain what they gathered. And but I was thinking like when I going back to the unified field, and then I'm thinking maybe okay, you got etheria, we got the atmospheric world, the lower heavens, the upper heavens, you got etheria. And I'm thinking like, could it be that the black holes are kind of, I won't say necessarily causing the motion, but I would say like reciprocating, because they seem to be so mysterious, and they swallow up energy and stars, planets, or whatever. I'm thinking like maybe this is the point where the unified field meets the lower atmosphere or what have you. And so,
Well,
you know what I mean? Like, so.
No, I'm following you. I want to build with you. What we actually see, right, is that the black hole is a result of the vortex. Because even with the black hole, and remember, the vortex was made to push things to its center.
Right.
So it's gathering things up from the farthest reaches of the grand vortex and pushing it at breakneck speed towards the center. Right? Because its vortex is spinning. Now, what it's doing is trying to produce enough mass. Right? And when that vortex spins perfectly and it has enough mass, it ignites the air. Right? But it's really photonic. If we were actually to go near the sun, it wouldn't get hotter. I'm almost willing to bet that you can breathe the sun's atmosphere. Because the Creator says the same force pervades all creation. I do the same thing. I breathe the same. I do the same thing over and over and over and over. And only the only difference is by where the vortex created it, how fast it's spinning, what was pulled in, and the density.
Right.
That is the only difference between a Mars and a Jupiter. And you got to remember, Jupiter is probably younger than Mars. This is why it's still in its gaseous crushing state and it's spinning super fast. Right? Because it's young. It's still young. And the atmosphere is not breathable. The atmosphere is so thick, right? The atmosphere is so thick, they think it's not a planet up under there.
Right.
They think that's a gas ball. It's not.
That's why I say that I agree that the sun's atmosphere is breathable, probably. And I just think the only thing about it is that to go from here to there is to change form. I don't think that, you know what I mean? It's like we would call it death, for example. But like it's that spark that allows you to, I don't know, maybe I'm going off with it, but This is the Great Spirit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now, now, Jaja say he gave us the Owaspi to teach us how to hear the Creator's voice and to see the heavens, right? To see them in full consciousness. So if I can see the heavens, I'm willing to bet in full consciousness and what you and I think that change, that shift that you think you might have to die to get to, I think that can be done, right? In consciousness, right? A person does it in their woke state, and they literally spirit travel to the sun.
I'm with you on that.
Just like you would astral travel anywhere else.
Right.
So it is my understanding that these things are and shit. We know that this can be done because shit, even Thothma did it. He swallowed his tongue and went in the pyramid and went to the higher heavens. That's what the pyramids did. They kept his body alive. They were healing centers. You dig what I'm talking about?
I remember
he
that
did
story.
that through a ritual. Right? Yichi means the great spirit. Yichi is the great spirit.
That great spirit, boy, that incomprehensible entity is something else, man.
Something else.
You know what I mean? Like, he over there creating vortices and galaxies, and at the same time had time to create us. And then
like, don't miss a beat on nothing. You got to think about it. There are gods billions of years older than the earth is. You dig what I'm talking about? Billions of years are older than the earth.
How about even to make it even more incomprehensible? You have angels that we can't even put a number to. This angel so old that we can't even put a number to it.
He don't miss a beat on none of them.
That shit is wild, yo.
He the power behind it all. How powerful you really gotta be? Wait a minute. First of all, you gotta be a little bit crazy to think up a nigga like Cosmology. You got to be a little on the. You get what I'm talking about? You got to be. What the hell was you thinking when you made a nigga like me? And then you ain't never let me down once. I done bumped my head. I ain't saying that. But everything, he's always been there, bro. Even when I didn't know it. Even when I didn't know it. And even when I did. Say it again, bro.
No, I just said no beginning.
No end,
you know what's crazy about that, Cosmo? Like, I mean, not just you, but you know, I was laughing when you said that.
I'm just saying, bro.
But look, think about this. This is how crazy it is. It's like to create a nigga like you. You got some that's gonna hate you, right? Some is gonna hate you, but then you got some that's gonna love the shit out you. You know what I mean? And you standing in that gap. You know what I mean? That's what I think it is stand in that gap, man. Because them people on either side might not understand each other. And you the one, you know what I mean? Like, that's all of us, though. You know what I mean? But, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I could sit here and trip off Creator all day, man.
Man, it's amazing, bro.
Go ahead,
hey, check it here. Go right here. That Cosmonian spirit, you know what I mean? Right here. Pull up that book of Osiris real quick. Osiris 13:2. Jehovah said, "Some men I created to reason upon events near at hand, others to speculate upon events in remote regions, with thoughts diverse and unalike in procedure. Do not think, O man, that in the high heavens such men become all alike, for I do not create them so, but to run in their various extremes forever. If you think Cosmo crazy now, nigga, you ain't even seen the half yet.
Nigga, this why they gonna send me back to Earth to tame it the next time. It's gonna be Cosmon coming back. It's gonna be the book of Cosmon. I'm trying to tell you, I'm gonna brush past a false god quickly. 10,000 pesos over this book. You dig what I'm talking about? I'm coming back to clear up everything and give science and to give astrology and natural science back to the world. I know it. I know it. He makes some of us fiery for a reason.
Exactly.
Yep.
It's another verse to as a precept to that. Let me see. Let me get it real quick. Hold up. Where that shit at? Right here. So the first one I read was Book of Osiris, son of Jehovah 13:2. Now the next one, the precept to that is Book of Osiris, son of Jehovah, chapter 2, verse 2. Jehovah said, "Do not think, O man, that I give talent to men differently on earth, and there to end, making my exalted places to be even shorn and alike. I did not create man so, but as one on earth is mild and leads on by smooth words and persuasive behavior, and as another by quick perceiving and strong will, plunging headlong. Even so I carry them onward in my high heavens, perfecting them in their bent, with wisdom and love, till each become as a shining, as a sun in its fair." Look at that.
Ooh-wee.
Look at that. So niggas ain't gonna, Cosmo ain't gonna change and become some calm, cool down nigga one day. No, nigga, it's about to get more fierce. When Osiris came to the joint, Osiris wasn't playing no games. And see the niggas, when Inky was on Sarnetta, and he was like, "Oh look, I see you have the OSP has Osiris in it." And I asked him which Osiris, and he was kind of fluttered. So he was like, "This is the Book of Osiris." I'm like, "Okay, boom." And then he pulled up his Book of Osiris. Little do he know, like that Osiris in your book is not even referencing the Osiris that the OSP is showing. And then when we place the time period and show, like, look, this Osiris is going back damn near 10,000 years ago. The Osiris you're referring to is going back 4,000 years ago.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like shit, nigga. There ain't no comparison.
Hey, read the next verse, Selah.
All right, exactly. Yup. This creator gang right here. Do not fear, O man, whether I have labor for them in the high heavens. I have worlds to be nurtured and co-waxed at times. Worlds to be pruned at times. Your biblical, the pruners coming to prune, and the world to be commanded at times by most severe authority. Wasn't Yeshua a severe preacher? But we talking about the gods here, though. We talking about the gods. And made to know that all power lies in me through my gods and laws, my nigga.
Oh, man.
Gods and laws, we see the power creator, the willpower and potential through the gods above us. Like, damn, nigga, one day we could pull off shit like that.
Hey, Sheila, read the next verse.
It gets even more goddamn better.
Read the next verse.
Look at this. For these exalted extreme gods, Elohims, I have placed in the firmament and numberless worlds on which they dwell as stars in my heaven. Pause for a minute. Pause just with that alone. It said numberless, my nigga. Do you know what numberless mean? That means you can't put a number on it.
He said they exalted and extreme.
Extreme gods.
What is he even talking about?
You know when the goddamn the military moving, organized, structured, extremely disciplined.
Man,
gods as an examples up in these high heavens, dwelling as
he
stars,
said
like
they
you said,
shining.
Cosmo. Like you
He
said,
said they
Cosmo.
shining like stars.
You said them stars we looking at ain't stars.
I keep telling you. Hold on 1 second, y'all.
Them is them exalted gods in them chariots. The
Hey,
watchers.
that must say Ethereal fields of pasture. Man, just imagine looking on something like that.
Just that alone, terms like that.
That's crazy right there.
There I make roadways for my traveling corporeal worlds, where my Ethereal fields of pasture lie, to glorify me and lead on the mortal born. So now to my commanding god Osiris, who ruled in Loxin, most ambiguously, how do you pronounce that? With equals, but was high strung with impatience towards self-will ignorance. I brought the undisciplined earth to feel his giant power. See that? He said the nigga was high strung with impatience towards self-willed ignorance. He couldn't stand them niggas.
Ain't got no time for the bullshit.
Yeah, man, this motherfucker here, this book of Osiris, this shit cold-blooded. This shit cold-blooded, Joe. It says, Osiris said, in written words, I will set down explicit laws for these unruly false gods, the gods, and give them bondage like the people of other worlds. Oh, if only they had received discipline before instead of sweet persuasions. Look at that. He said, I'm going to write explicit laws. So this is what he explicit law. This is basically the purpose of Osiris. His duty was to come lay down astrology, physical science, natural philosophy. He came to bring that. He came to turn man away from spirit communion to acknowledging nature on its periodic level, minerals, understanding the science, understanding the motion of the sun, moon, and stars, the zodiac. Go ahead, Ken.
To expand the mind and overall comprehension of man on earth at the time too.
Exactly. Making man aware of creator's physical side. Because there was like the book before Osar, they was dealing with spirit communion towards the end of the cycle. And they was unbelieving in, the earthly. They just wanted to be with the spirits of the dead, communicating with them and being where they wanted to be. So Osiris came to lay down and get these niggas back on the track. Like, all right, niggas, enough of that spiritual shit. Y'all niggas need to understand physical philosophy, science. You need to understand the moon cycles, the sun, moon, and stars, all that. So Osiris came to lay that foundation. And at the ending of the Osirian cycle, man had no more belief in spirituality. So when you read the Owaspi, you'll see throughout the arc cycles how man is progressing spiritually and physically. He advances spiritually at one point, and then he descends spiritually, and has to be given corporeal lessons, and man converts back to corporeal knowledge, and then from corporeal knowledge, he forgets spirituality, and he has to be reminded of that, and so the cycle goes. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh. And that's what's dope about this era. That's what's dope about Cosmon. Cosmon is the only time, or is a point on a planet, a time on a planet where great physicality and great spirituality happen all at the same time. Right. And that's what's dope about the era we're actually in right now.
Look at this shit, Cosmo. The Osiris left his high place and with his hosts aboard the Ethereal ship of fire, set out at breakneck speed. Now let's get an example of a comet again real quick. Because a comet gives an example of like breakneck speed, right?
Yeah.
Now if you see this comet, say that's the chariot moving. That's breakneck speed the niggas moving at right there. Them niggas just coursing through the vast firmament, looking at Jehovah's magnificence. You know, some of these chariots is big as shit, but then when they in a vault of space, it's like they're a fucking nut, a peanut. You know what I'm saying? Compared to the magnitude out there. Although the shit may be 10 times bigger than the Earth, they still looking like a drop of fucking water compared to the ocean.
And then they can make it see-through, make it opaque, make it light from the inside, make it light from the outside. They can they can do just like a planet.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that look like the Big Bang breakdown. The illustration of that picture.
Yeah, that's
you
a
look
comet.
at it.
That's a comet right there. That's a precursor of a planet. That's a precursor of a sun. That's a precursor of everything right there. That's the sperm cell of creation. The comet.
Right. That's a starter Earth.
That's the starter.
Yeah, they chose the Big Bang. They chose the Big Bang theory when that could have happened a trillion times before.
Now this is how the Big Bang theory look. Look how this looks. Science. Now that's how the Big Bang theory looks. Where is that in creation?
It's a big ass comet.
Where is that example in creation though? You see that? Evolution of the universe, Big Bang. Look at that. That's even a vortex.
That's what I'm saying. They tried to give us a starting point, and then when they throw out these millions and billions and light years, man, even when I was a kid, I used to be like, damn, I wonder how they measured that. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, look at this. There go God right there. There go God sitting on the throne right there.
The vortex had to come first, huh?
They're him thinking right there on the throne. And then they go to Big Bang out of nowhere. That shit is crazy.
Hey, that nigga sitting there thinking.
That's what I'm saying.
Hey, but look, the crazy part is they found galaxies older than the Big Bang.
Where the goddamn Wikipedia on this shit at?
Now what? The crazy part is that look like the tail on Earth. Crazy.
Now, that's supposed to be the Big Bang right there.
They saying that's supposed to be our galactic center, or is that our sun?
I don't know what that's supposed to be. That's what they say.
Yeah. What is the point? What is that light supposed to be? The sun or the?
I guess that's the galactic center.
It says quantum fluctuations.
What?
That's what it say. Quantum fluctuations.
And just like it's sitting in the black right there, they just picked a spot somewhere and started right there.
That's crazy.
Right.
That's
and the crazy part is they only seen about 6% of the universe. So 94% of it, they can't even see.
Right. So if we was to okay, let's be simple with this for a second. If I was to go ahead and go with this idea that this was the Big Bang, and then they telling us that they constantly discovering new planets and stars. There's no way I could believe that there's not other life out there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is just
yeah.
What you're showing me is an example of infinity. This is a microcosm of the macro. You know what I mean?
But that's what it's supposed to be. It says, look, timeline of the expansion of the universe, where space, including hypothetical, non-observable portions of the universe, is represented at each time by the circular section on the left. Look at that circular section on the left. The dramatic expansion occurs in the inflationary epoch.
The what?
Inflationary epoch.
Inflationary epoch. That means the time that it was expanding. Listen, the crazy part is when you try to objectively, right, produce a big bang, right? I can produce a big spin that produces a body in the middle. All I got to do is put some herbs and some water and spin my finger in it. It'll clump the substance that's in the water to the middle of the pot. Right? Now, if I'm trying to equate Big Bang to something on Earth, it's basically like putting an atomic bomb in a junkyard and then blowing it up and expecting a 747 jet with a human to drive it.
Oh yeah, that part don't make no sense.
It don't make sense. We never see anything blowing up in nature producing life. Where? What blows up and produces life?
Right. And they called it a Big Bang. That's just
that's crazy. But I can't say they can't deny James Webb. They can't deny James Webb. You know what I mean? He's turning the game on his head. And James Webb ain't saying nothing but what OAS be saying.
Showing them gaseous mountains. That's what James Webb doing.
Yo, they actually put a man right here, son. They actually put God sitting on the throne. That's God on the throne.
Man, that's crazy.
That's Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. That's Genesis chapter 1, verse 1.
Hey man, copy that, man. I gotta get that, man. You gotta copy that, man. That's crazy. Where's Waldo God? You dig what I'm talking about? That's crazy.
That's wild,
yo. This nigga, so he was. That's what he was out there doing. See, like he was thinking.
Say it again.
I'm looking at the chart. I'm looking at it backwards.
That's what it looking like.
Wait a minute. Wait. Why your God got a bang?
Hold up. That's like a black man too and shit. That's like a black man and shit.
Damn.
Oh man. Yo, look at that.
Oh man. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's goddamn. It's this website right here. It's org and shit.
Why the creator got to think about something? He don't already know.
Look at that, yo. They go Elohim right there. Nuts. Besides me, there are no saviors. Right there. Even I am the Lord, and besides me, there are no saviors. Where the picture at? Damn, where that shit go? There you go. Besides me, there are no saviors.
That nigga do got a Kobe fro, don't he? Got a little paper on the side of his shit, don't he?
That nigga thinking hard. Nigga zapping vortices in the fucking existence and shit. Look at that.
Crazy. And look at the planets. How can you not say they're vortices?
Definitely on this side.
Say it again. What you say, BC?
I said if he's sitting on the throne, he's definitely on this side of existence with the rest of us.
Facts. Facts.
thinking he God, like some of us do.
He gotta thank it. He got to. He ain't it. So he gotta thank it up. And they're gonna come about him head hurting. him needed a Cedrin.
Yo, that's wild.
That is nuts.
I don't know. I don't know how much.
And then hold on, wait a minute. Go back, Sheila. This don't make no sense.
And look, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the water. There you go, right there. That's it right there.
It is. but look, hold on. This my thing, Sheila. How did you have a big bang and it's only blowing in one direction?
Right, exactly.
Where's the bang on the other side?
It's coming from a galaxy itself, the way they got it drawn up here.
Yeah, who made that galaxy?
And in order to have a bang, you have to have some shit fueled up to give it a bang.
Well, that ain't what it say. Big Bang say nothing turned into something and then something blew up. That's Big Bang. Something, nothing first. Because remember, there was a point where, if you asked them, there was a point where there was nothing. Nothing became something. And something somehow got a charge and blew up. And what blew up? You dig what I'm talking about? I'm not even sure what the hell blew up. You dig what? Ain't hydrogen the number one chemical in the world? Right? Throughout all creation, there's more hydrogen.
Right there. Hydrogen.
Right?
That's the most abundant mineral they see in the universe, ain't it?
Can you light hydrogen on fire?
Shit.
Is hydrogen even explodable? Like, can you explode it as gas?
You know what? I ain't even about to sit here and pretend like I'm know the answer to that shit. You know what I mean? I'm sure.
Because if you can't, I'm saying if you can't just light it on fire, how did it blow up? Where did the heat come?
That's what I'm saying. You have to have some shit fueled up before to even give it a bang. Can't nothing have a bang without something being fueled up for it.
It had to come down from a more potent substance before it could even explode. I mean, that's what I'm looking at it.
It had to do something, but we know hydrogen don't do shit. Carbon doesn't move. It's dead. It don't have no motion, no gravity, no, it doesn't move. It's not alive. What put all this carbon together and then animated it? What made all this dead stuff live?
But how you have an explosion and then you got water out of that shit? You know what I mean? It's like, where's the system in order out of this explosion?
Yeah, where did the water come from after the heat?
Right. We got the Big Bang, and then we got God separated the waters from the waters.
Right.
Yeah, he made light first. Hold on. He made light first.
He made light first. Then he separated the waters from the waters and then made light. Right. Made the plants first, then made light.
The earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the water. So that's where we at, right there. Then after that, when he said, "Let there be light," so now we can see. God could see now. This is what he saw.
Right.
In the blink of an eye. Light. He said, "Let there be light."
Vortices.
Nah, he ain't seen no vortices because they ain't talking about vortices in the Bible. We can't give him that. That nigga, he's seeing speckles of light. And then he said
Saw
it was good.
Israelites. No.
And God saw the light. Wait a minute. Wait. So it wasn't no light before this light?
Nope.
Well, how did he know it was light? He had never saw it before. Uh-oh. He had never saw light before. How he know it was light? How he know it was good? Thirdly, where is the source of this light? I'm just asking questions.
Don't question God.
There go the source right there.
I'll punch God in his mouth.
You know, they say don't question God. You don't understand it. When it don't make no damn sense.
Over here.
That shit said
we don't pump that fear doctrine over here.
They say don't lean on your own understanding. I said, what?
Even I am the Lord, and beside me,
who I'm supposed to lean on? The nigga that ain't did nothing in 2,000 years?
I'm like, how do I understand then? All I got is me. You know what I mean? What if all I got is me? How do I understand?
What is the point of knowledge then? If I'm not supposed to lean on it, how do I gain wisdom? If I'm not supposed to lean on it.
Hey, but check this, Cosmo. Look, the 5th verse say, evening and morning were the first day, right?
Yeah.
Now, this is after the first day. Now, when we come to 6, he said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, right? Right? But let's scoot down to verse 8. Look what it say. God called the firmament heaven. God created heaven on the 2nd day. Look.
He created heaven on the first day. Go back to 1 and 1.
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth.
Okay.
And then let's go to verse 8.
So did he put heaven in a snow globe?
So look, he's creating a thing within a thing. He's creating a thing within a thing. Because if he created heaven on that day, and then he says, and God made the heaven on the 2nd day, then he called the firmament heaven, and then the evening and morning were the 2nd day.
This nigga, listen, where did this water come from? I thought something just blew up. You got to explain to me where this water came from. When you heat hydrogen, it doesn't turn into water. It doesn't grab 2 particles of oxygen. It's not what it does. You dig what I'm saying? So where is this water coming from? And this is why we say, we don't care what your God talking about. Show me how you did it. That's when you powerful. Because only a person who was there would know how it was done. Right? Show me how you did it. Yeah, don't tell me the Lord said, the Lord said I made the heavens and the earth on the first day. Before the first day. Yahweh El created it, the Elohim himself. Right? Created this thing before the first day. He already created heaven. So how is he creating heaven again? Wasn't it already there?
But look though, on the 3rd day, he's building the earth. The dry land come on the 3rd day.
What?
He called the dry land earth.
He called the dry land earth.
That's
but I thought he already made the earth.
So I guess
what was he
chapter 1,
what was he
chapter 1, verse 1 is just a synopsis of what's being laid out from verses 2 on down.
Okay. Yeah, I see you. I see you got your apologies on. I see you getting your apologies on. Go ahead, cuz. Go ahead, cuz.
So if we following that narrative, that means heaven was created on the second day. Earth was created on the third day.
Wow.
That's what it says.
But wait a minute. But that ain't what it say. A couple verses down. That's not what it say. That's not what it say. Him said something different.
You stupid.
God saw that it was good. Crazy.
Okay, so he created the earth, brought forth fruits and vegetables, herb yielding seeds. Man, this shit don't make no sense, man. But that's what's going on right there.
Hey, I just had a crazy thought, man. Hey, you know how he talks about so man was created on what, the sixth day according to the biblical God.
Yeah.
So at first I was gonna say, so basically he created man in a week, but technically we could say man was created in a day.
Correct.
And so I'm just throwing this out here, like just a hypothetical, y'all, for real. Like let's just say, because I know I got children, right? It took my child 9 months in the belly to develop. But I was created in a day, I mean, according to the biblical God, right? So
Damn.
or the first man, I should say. I guess we'll go with that. But that already don't even sound right, for one. But let me throw this at y'all. If we was actually able to like create, as the Bible say, because we procreate, like we're supposed to be fruitful and multiply. But let's just say we was able to do it like God did it. You know what I mean? In a day or a week. Would the value of life increase? You know what I mean? In your opinion, or do y'all think it would decrease? Or would it stay the same? You know what I mean? Because I'm looking at the time and, the things that goes into life when it comes upon the earth. That's a big thing. Children is like the most important thing. But it just, I mean, I'm comparing the cultivation of human life from the Owaspy I'm comparing that with the biblical story, and it's like how much thought went into, I don't know, man. It just don't seem right.
Yeah, you could tell that shit was written for a primitive time and a primitive people, because you know what I mean? For that shit to be laid out like that and be so inconsistent, it's like, man, come on, man. Who gonna believe this shit? What thinking person gonna accept this?
It just kind of it kind of devalues the thing that we hold so precious. If we just, you know what I mean? I don't know. But go ahead, y'all got it.
No, you good, Ken. You know what I'm saying? It just shows you how inconsistent, you know what I mean, the biblical creation story is, that got everybody believing this. Not just for a couple of years, for thousands of years. You know what I'm saying? You know how long this belief system been carried on? People believing the earth been created in 6 days or 6,000 years. Then you got the Jews putting a start date on the calendar of 3761 BC or 5784, the year of creation or the year after creation. Yeah, man, this shit is messed up, yo. The timeline is totally off.
How long these debates have been going on about these same things, you know what I mean?
Exactly. In the last 2,000 years, those debates been the validity of Jesus Christ. Is he the Son of God, or is he a natural born man? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what them councils was all about. The Council of Nicaea. They was debating the divinity of Jesus. Was he co-eternal with the Father in the beginning? Have no beginning? Or do he have a beginning? You know what I'm saying? Being beside the Father.
Right.
So you got some like you say, that shit been going on for a minute.
And then they want you to keep in mind that he's a mysterious God. You know what I mean? So you ain't gonna know everything. But it's like
Right.
the stuff that you should have answers to is like, well, dang, I should at least be privy to this information. You know what I mean? Or that if I'm putting my faith and my life on the line, you know what I
Right.
mean? It's kind of off a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's just the creation aspect. That's just the creation aspect. You know what I mean? That's not even going into the characteristics and behavior of the God. We just dealing with creation and time, and you know what I mean, making it make sense. And we see that shit don't
Yeah,
make no sense.
and since I've been like learning more about the creator and the Owaski, I go back and I look over the story of Jesus in the Bible, for example, and I realize like even through all the scrutiny that the Bible is taking, it's like Jesus' words are they still pretty much solid. You know what I'm saying within the book, but it's like they looking at it from one perspective when they should be look. I mean, is everything? I ain't gonna say everything. I gotta really go back and study it again. But it seemed like he's on point, uh, even from the Bible perspective. Even though there's questions about his existence and the time period that he was here and that. But what
Right.
I'm saying is, when you look at them red letters, it's like he said, for example, he'll say, "Isn't it written that you are gods?" And let this mind be in you. But when a Christian read that, they it's like they don't really want to accept. They don't really want to take it for what it say. You know what I mean?
Exactly. They ain't trying to They ain't trying to understand it. They just believe it. Like the belief is so dangerous because it's like if you show them the truth, they still gonna believe. You know what I mean? The Christians still gonna believe in the hellfire and the judgment day. They still gonna believe that no matter what you tell them, unless they, you know what I mean, break that spell of the God spell. Till then, they under that
Right.
spell, deep under that spell. Mama under that spell, grandma under that spell, great grandma under that spell. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
man. I'm just thankful that I came up the way I did to question everything, man. You know.
Yeah, that's key right there. Key right there. Question everything. That shit got to make sense.
Yeah, that's the beautiful thing about the creators. Like he kind of showed me my own path. I didn't necessarily follow nobody to come to this understanding, so to speak. I'm sure I was led and guided in certain ways that I probably don't understand, but it's like when I look around, man, it's like uh, I feel like I'm a student and a teacher. I think I said this the last time, but it's like, dang, I got this knowledge, but ain't nobody really. I'm talking about in my immediate circle. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like ain't nobody really hip to it. Ain't nobody grasping to it. But that's why I love the creative game, man, because I know that I mean, I've always been a objective, realist type of person anyway. You know, I question stuff, so
Exactly. You got
you
to
know,
question all
it
that, yo.
just it, it continues to make more and more sense to me the more I go into it. You know, and it's like, well, if I'm gonna have faith in something, it's gonna be my objective, objective knowledge, you know what I mean, on what's right and what's wrong, you know what I mean?
Right. Exactly. You know what I mean? Created a a common sense factor in each individual to know what makes, you know, like, nigga, you know what's right and you know what's wrong. That's an internal, innate thing given to you from the creator. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's a shame how
Mm-hmm.
it even says that it's simple. I like to pull stuff out the Bible, but I only pull what makes sense. So you know, you might hear me quote, but what I'm doing is I'm weaving it into the bigger the bigger pattern. But like when it says it's simple enough for a child to understand, like that's real right there. You know what I mean?
Right, right. So what next?
So
What religious background you was in prior, like coming up?
man, I grew up Baptist, you know, in my family. But, you know, even as a child, man, I always questioned everything, you know, so I never fully committed to anything. When I came of age and understanding, you know, I just did what my grandma and my mama said and went to church and but I didn't really try to understand it until I I got myself baptized in church when I was at like 11. But to be honest with you, man, it was I did something and I felt bad about it, see, like, so I told myself, man, I'm gonna go to church, because I feel like that was the right thing to do.
Right,
But it was like nobody really guided me to do that, and you know, my mama was shocked and stuff. But I was really just trying to do what was right, and so you know, the older I got, yeah, I got in the in and out of trouble and in the streets and this and that, but I've always felt the presence of you know the Great Spirit. I would say now that I understand it, but it was like it was always something that kept me from going too far off the ledge. You know what I mean? Even though I did my little dirt here and there, and
right.
I kind of came to a breaking point where I just really wanted to understand what you know this was all about. And at that point, I kind of went from Christianity to Hebrew Israelite, you
Mm-hmm.
know, trying to understand that. And that was like 2017. But I didn't really get too heavy off into it. I just really studied the Bible. And as time went on from 2017, that's when I hooked up with Malachi Maccabee. I've been rocking with him ever since then. And
Nice, nice, nice.
that it's really been history since then, man. To be honest,
Yes, sir.
I did. We the way everything. I kind of grew with Malachi Maccabee, so to speak, from 2017.
Nice. Yeah, that's the big homie right there, man. Malachi Maccabee, get it in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nice body of work he got too. You know what I'm saying? So he been in the field for a minute, so you know what he talking about when he drop what he dropped. Now he got the Owaspy. You know what I mean? Create game vibes. Dealing with creator now. You know what I mean? Showing the differences between the gods, the influences. You know what I mean? No doubt, man.
Yeah, salute to the God.
That's the vibes, yo. So you ever got into the Hebrew Israelite doctrine?
Yeah, you know, I got into it a little bit, you know, but I was just basically studying the Bible. I didn't necessarily commit to any camp or nothing. The only thing I did was I stopped. I kind of left the church because I can just I could tell something was off with that. And you know, because the more I was studying the Bible, I'm starting to see, well, they ain't really teaching it the way it's saying, you know.
Right.
And so then I really got deep into the text. And when I got deep into the text, I'm like, dang, the text ain't even really. It's like it's saying one thing here and it's saying one thing here, and I'm trying to understand. Well, is this a time difference? But then I'm thinking like, well, dang. Well, and this is what I love about the Watching, man, because it said the creator is not about confusion, like you know, like, and that's what I was getting with it, trying to understand the scripture. I'm like, man, it's just some stuff I can't wrap my head around. It just don't seem right to me. So you know, I kind of backed up off of it from there.
Right.
And that's when I came across your stuff on YouTube.
Yeah, man. I put this joint up, man, because ain't nobody had these videos. I mean, like lessons on the WASP on YouTube, like nobody. So I was like, let me drop these joints. You know what I'm saying? That's what I did. That was my whole intention. Just put the book out there, put it on YouTube, draw some videos. You know what I mean? Later on, caught a couple debates, caught a couple bodies. You know what I'm saying? Easy work. You know what I mean? And just like check this information out. That was my whole point. Like, yo, check this shit out. You know the Bible, but check this shit out. You know what I'm saying? You know the Quran, nigga, but check this shit out. You know about the Egyptian text, but check this shit out. You know what I mean? Because this is a rare find. This is a rare read right here.
And that's one thing that really gets to me, man, about our people is like they'll really get locked into a certain doctrine, and they just feel like they got it all. And I constantly, one of my mottos, man, is that learning is for a lifetime. You know what I mean? You don't never close your mind to learning or gaining some development. You know what I mean?
Right. Knowledge is never ending.
Because even if you even if I go to the library and I read a book and even if I discover or I read some evil material or something, it's going to eventually come down to how I interpret it, for one, like how I apply it. Now you can. What I mean by that is like I can always learn from something or somebody, and it's not always going to be. Sometimes you're going to learn what not to do. It ain't always that you're learning to follow something. You know what I mean?
Right. Correct.
It's like it's like every time you're learning a lesson, like when you fall and bump your head, you learn something. It didn't feel good, but you're still better because of it. And I feel like, man, it's just a balance. You can't just, if you blocking yourself off from any kind of material. I mean, of course, we know some shit just is just too low vibrational, of course, but if it's a potential to you know what I mean, rise up, and that's all we saying, you know what I mean? That's why I don't understand why they it's like they stuck right there on JBN for some reason.
Yeah, they still stuck in the, you know what I mean, carnal mind state, you know what I'm saying? Because God got them in the carnal mind state, a real physical, corporeal state. You know what I mean? And their spiritual grade is real low because of that, you know what I'm saying? They talking about God black, he's sitting on the throne. The Messiah gonna come back and slay the nations with blood up to halfway to his hips and shit. Crazy shit. Cosmos good.
Yeah, my bad, bro. My line had dropped.
No, you good, bro. Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Still beating up these false gods like always, yo.
Yeah, man. Good topics, man. Good topics.
Yeah, yo. So this is like God versus the creator. So we exposing they God because they got over there thinking of creation while we demonstrate creation. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you said, motion is the cause of creation, but prior to motion, you have creator. You see what I'm saying?
Shit, prior to motion, you got sound.
Mm-hmm.
Prior to that, you got all that ever was and would be.
And back behind that.
Yeah, and back behind that.
It's like a never-ending back-to-back, yo.
Right? It's system in order.
Yeah.
Right? Once they figure out that there's only one power and there's only one source to all power, and that's the same place where you get truth, knowledge, and enlightenment from too, and direct inspiration. It all comes from the same thing.
Right. That's wild.
Wow. So with that being said, how like a person that think they already got it all, man. It's sad to me. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
They
That's where the
closing their
debate's
mind up.
That's where the debate's
Yeah.
coming at. You challenge them on what they think is all truth.
But
Yeah.
it's
Go ahead, guys.
but it's only as sad as a God purporting to write a book that's immaculate.
Right.
That's the same false equivalency. How could a book be immaculate? There's only one thing that's perfect and flawless.
Right.
That's the creator. Right? If the book was flawless, it would be the creator. And it is because of this false ideology and twisted doctrine through man worship that they now praise the book even more than they do the man.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
They made the book their idol.
Right. They have idolized the Bible. The Bible is their God.
It is. You better not say nothing about that Bible. They'll kill you behind that Bible.
They wouldn't know of their God if it wasn't for the Bible.
Yeah, because he showed took a lot of head cracks.
You wouldn't know that you were
even when I came into this thing, man, like, you know, like I said, when I came of age and had understanding of religion and that spirituality, like the first thing I told myself was like, well, okay, they saying that this book is the book to live by. The first thing I told myself is like, okay, they got all these different versions of the book. So one thing I'm not gonna do is lock myself into a text, you know, like because it's not gonna be about that. If you know what I mean, that's not the point of it all. It's the understanding is the point. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so for them to have so many different religions and versions, and that already had me like, man, you know. But I ain't gonna lie though. At the time in my life that the things I was dealing with, the Bible helped me. You know what I mean? It brought me out of a depressing state, and it helped me get back where I needed to be at the time. But the thing about it is, man, I kept on living, man. I kept on moving. Like I stayed in motion, you know. And then I realized, well, dang, you know what I'm
what's
saying?
that
Like,
verse in OYSP? You reminded me of something, bro. What's that verse in OYSP where he says it's okay to pray to your false God, to your savior, to whoever you want, but live to that highest ideal. Right?
Exactly.
And he was like with the understanding that a false God could never answer your prayer. Right? They could never answer your prayer, but because I won't let your faith in the Great Spirit, because remember, you think that this is the creator. The creator won't let you down. So he sends his true angels down there to give these blessings through what you understand at the time. Like Bible, like Jesus. I didn't have some crazy miraculous stuff happen in the name of Jesus to me, but understanding that, like you said, that pushed me on to a further extent, right? You know, when you come into this, right? First of all, it's shocking, right? To understand that, I've been wrong this whole time, right?
Not only that, about God at that.
Right, about God, the nigga I purported to love. That nigga hated my guts.
Who you been praying to?
I've been praying to this nigga, bro. But to understand that our creator's so dope, he wouldn't let me lose any faith. So he answered the prayer for the false god that I was praising? Huh? That's a father. That's that's the equivalent of having a good son and a bad son, and one go to jail, and you still pay the tuition for one to go to college, and you put some money on the books for the other one while he in jail. That's just what fathers do.
You just took that thought right out my head, because I was just on that same thing.
I'm just saying, which one of your sons aren't you going to love? Irregardless of what he do, you gonna stop loving him? You gonna stop giving to him? Doing for him? No. And neither would Creator. And this is why, listen, this is why it's no problem. Because remember he said, I gave y'all these gods and saviors during these times for certain people at certain times. But when you've risen past that, and when old things are old and it's time to be put away, well, then it is what it is.
Right.
We see you clenching on to something that's falling and dying. Right? Come to find out, that's your God. It is a very sobering realization. I understand why they don't want to talk to us. Right? Because we're going to go into the primaries and show by character, action, nature, and deed that the biblical God is no different than a demon. I wouldn't want to talk to him.
How important are those things you just mentioned when in dealing with humanity, Cosmo?
What's that?
You just said deed, character. You know what I mean? Like, how do you even build relationship with anybody? You need these things.
You got to know them, bro. You got to be there. You dig what I'm talking about? You got to be in it. You know what I mean? And then it's what a person produces, what they do, that proves who they are. For instance, BC gave me some seeds last year. He done told me this is an apple. These is apple seeds. I done grew the tree. I done grew the whole thing out. Now it's some years later, and he told me about these goddamn apple seeds. These the best apples ever, right? I got them from BC. So I tell BC, the first apples that come up, I'm gonna give you some, right? Now when it grow all the way out, these round orange citrusy type fruits are on the plant. And I look and observe them and say, them ain't apples. Those are oranges. So it's by what a thing produces, right, or does, which is the objective way of telling you what it is. Right? The thing does is what it is. Damn it, my phone.
Yeah.
Facts. I had to run to the car real quick. Yes, sir.
You shall know them by their fruits.
Exactly. Big facts. Big facts, yo. You got wolves in sheep clothes running around, you know what I mean? Niggas running around thinking they holier than thou, man. Especially in the Israelite community. You know what I'm saying? You got to bow down to niggas' feet and shit like that. They want you to fall in rank.
Yeah.
That's all good, man. What part of town you calling from, Ken? What state you in?
I'm in Indianapolis, Indiana, Naptown.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. That's what's up.
Midwest. I jumped on your live a couple lives back, and I was trying to catch mine because I was going to Michigan. I thought I was going close to where he was, but I had my I ain't looked at the map right. I was on the other side of Michigan.
Yeah, man, I was in DC, DC and Maryland, Baltimore last week. I seen one of the Critic Gang sisters, man. She stayed not too far. You know what I mean? That was a good look. Did some filming out there for this lady who got a film production and shit. She got me hired to do some of her movies and shit like that. So cool little vibe, you know what I mean?
That's what's up, man. Keep doing your thing, man. I've been checking you out on the YouTube.
Yeah, man.
Man is ugly, yes.
Little son, you know what I mean? Yeah. Working on some full length movies to put on Tubi and other platforms. Got a couple people we working with, so outside of doing, you know what I mean, it's a vibe. But this is my joint, man. I enjoy this the most, though, you know what I mean? Dropping the knowledge.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate running into you, man. You know what I'm saying? Create a gang in this thing. And
Yes,
I got
sir.
cousins down in ATL, man. I've been trying to get down there for the longest, but I'm gonna get down there, man. I'm gonna make sure I hit you up, King.
Yeah. It's all good out here, man. It's good in the hood. It's Sirski, man. What's today? Friday?
I'm gonna go on and drop out, man.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? We just out here vibing out, man. You know what I mean? Touching on various topics, enjoying the night, open up the line, let the gods come through, chop it up. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we got to get some of these sisters on, let them drop some of their knowledge, what they think, you know what I'm saying? How they feeling or whatever. Yeah, soon link up, yeah? Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and sign off my damn self, man. You know what I'm saying? Probably get some things together. I got to do some editing, draw some scripts, and get back to this job called production. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up, man. Salute to the gang, man. Y'all stay up, man. Spin that vortex. We're gonna keep rolling.
Always,
King.
Always, man. Stay in touch. Salute. Yes, family. It's a blood clot vibes around these parts. You dig? You know what I mean? We just vibing out. Matter of fact, let me run the
Bittersweet Herbals, where the taste is bitter, but the results are sweet. Bittersweetherbals.com.
Run the rhythm.
Bittersweet Herbals, where the taste is bitter, but the results are sweet. Bittersweetherbals.com.
Yes, family, make sure to get your bitters. I didn't even know my camera had went out. I gotta get a new camera. And I think you got a short circuit. This gonna be going in and out. But yes, family, we're just vibing out. You know how we do on a Friday afternoon. You know what I mean? It's a vibes. Let me let the rhythm run for a little bit, you know? Let me let the rhythm run for a little bit. Wham there. Yes, family, we're going to go ahead and sign out. Your boy, Silla Shalom, is up out of here. Until next time, salute, create a gang in the building. And we out of here, family.